contest. This is a live stream. But for the first, 2 minutes, oh no, I mean, that's a bad sign. That's a horrible sign when you log on and then everybody logs off. Oh, I usually don't pay attention to the chat at the beginning, but I want to do something because I got to figure out which ways. I could do this better when people turn on. It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. Let's just start talking. So here we are. Monday. I don't know where my phone is. Did I bring my? I did bring my phone down. Isn't that convenient? August 12th, I think. August 14th. That's one of the cool things about the job, about like having a job where you kind of don't have to write stuff down. At my old job, I would always write the date. At my last like real job, I would always have to write the dates on receipts. Everything was hand paper receipts, and this some days. Well, usually I know what day it is when I wake up, but knowing the date, there's a good chance I don't know what the date is. Hello, big fan. Hello, thank you. I'll see you. Oh, I will not be making it to games on the weekends. I think I gotta. Summer's wrapping up soon, and I really didn't spend much time with the family this summer. I went to a lot of baseball games, and I want to maybe go away for a weekend with the family. And I think there's only 6 weekend games, so I should be there for most of the weekday games. But yeah, no, but that's what's going on with my schedule with the Phillies games. Just so you know, I might be there for the last game against the Mets. It's a Sunday game. But all right, so this is what we're doing. You got to tell me. Hello, Tom. I can't really. Hey, Will, what's up? Why is Chase? Hello. All right, does it sound better now? All right, so this is now. Now is the time I am talking. Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Does this sound good now? Or does it sound better now? This is testing 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Which one sounds better? 1 or 2? Let me know in the comments. Two. Okay, 2 sounds better. Thank you. Okay. I did a podcast. I did the Crossing Broads podcast about a week ago, and I thought it sounded a little weak. But 2, oh God, it's a resounding 2. Okay, 2 it is. Thank you very much. 3. Thank you, Congress. What do I call you now, Senator? Were you a congressman? I think you were a congressman. Thank you. I'm going to call you Mr. Santos out of respect. I'm telling you, the eyes are gone. Oh, okay, William, how you doing? There's no way. Paul, how you doing? Slightly better one, too. Thank you. Okay. Oh, Sam, I got so many thoughts about so many things. So last week, it was, if you haven't watched any of my videos from last week, if you want to catch the greatest 7 days of my life, or not even 7 days, just like the greatest 3 days, you can watch the video. Matter of fact, if this video gets 200, no, fuck that. If this video gets 300 likes, I'll drop a brand new video as soon as I'm done this live stream. It's of the Wildwood Boardwalk. I was going to save it for tomorrow morning, but if it gets 300 likes, I'll drop it right after I'm done this live stream. It's me and Brett from the Pandemic Crew. We ride our bikes on the Wildwood Boardwalk, and then we go into this amazing Wildwood Museum. So we'll see. So the other day, on Thursday, me and on hold on, relax. On Wednesday, my son's playing video games and I can hear him yell, and I'm like, why would you play something that makes you so angry? So on Wednesday, me and Brett from the Pandemic crew had this plan of going down to a shore house on Wednesday night to wake up Thursday morning, and we're going to spend the whole day in Wildwood together. And because we were going to go to the Flo Rida concert Thursday night. So when we went there on Wednesday night, me and Brett had every intention of leaving the game early and going down to Wildwood. So we're watching the game. We're watching the game. It's around the fourth inning, and Brett's like, "Yo, you want to get ready to get going?" And I said it super early. I was like, "Yo, we can't." And he's like, "Why?" I said, look at the scoreboard. I said, "Look at the scoreboard. We can't leave right now. You got to wait for something to happen." And I said, "I can't leave right now." And that fourth inning, that don't happen too often. So I was like, "We'll just stick around. Once they get a hit, we'll go." So Brett's like, "I gotta leave." My plan was to leave. My plan was to leave, and if I don't leave, I'm gonna be a jinx to the no-hitter. That's what he said. So Brett leaves around the fifth inning. He leaves section 301, but instead of leaving, he just does laps around the ballpark. So he thinks he's tricking the baseball gods. He's like, "Oh, I'm not sure what exit I'm going to get out. Well, let me watch this pitch." So he just walked around the first floor concourse of the game, and I stuck around for the no-hitter, and we both did. We just didn't watch it together. And man, that was really good. Not many moments in sports make me cry. Watching like a moment in sports, like I cry a little bit at the ballpark if I don't know, like if they do, like if a player I like died and they do a little tribute, or if they do, whatever. They got moments that make you tear up sometimes. The only time I've ever cried because of baseball in the ballpark, I cried a lot when Harry Kalas died. And when the Phillies, right after Harry Kalas' funeral, Harry Kalas was the broadcaster of the Phillies from like 1970, when the vet opened, 1971, all the way up until 2009. So he was like the voice of baseball for me. And when he died, it was very sad for me to go to the ballpark, because he was kind of like, he was part of like my childhood, and he reminded me of my grandmother and my grandparents, and like of a simpler time. You remember being a kid, riding your bike through the neighborhood, and there'd be old guys sitting on the steps with the radio, listening to the Phillies game. So when he died, I would cry. Now, after his funeral, the Phillies started playing High Hopes after every win. And after every win, I would always cry because I would hear his voice. It would make me cry every time. It took me a while to get over that. But when the only time I ever really cried because of being at a thing and experiencing it was the NLCS. It made me really, I cried because I knew me and my friends were going to win the World Series. And then I also knew, so anyway, that was a very emotional, but then after the no-hitter, I really, I started tearing up. And it was funny, I was at the no-hitter during the World Series, And there is definitely a difference between a combined no-hitter and a no-hitter. There's definitely a difference. And because, like, there's different drama to a no-hitter by one guy versus multiple guys, because you sit there and, like, around, like, the sixth inning, you're doing the pitch count. You're looking at the pitch count. Todd was like, yo, his pitch count's too high. They ain't going to let him pitch. And I said, well, he's going to have some quick pitch innings. You know, he's going to have some 10-pitch innings. And that's exactly what he did. It worked out great. It was wonderful. It was a beautiful thing to experience. And that happened 3 days after the Trey Turner thing happened. So there was a lot of really great positive vibes inside the ballpark. I think Marsh will be coming back. What did I hear? 2.5 weeks? It's going to be a little bit. It's a no-hitter, but it's not the same thing as a it's not the same thing as a no-hitter. It's a different tier. It also should be it's definitely better than a regular baseball game. It sucked that it happened during the World Series to us. I think we were victims of like 2 or 3 no-hitters last year. We go through games where our team gets incredibly hot, and then they'll just die. Yeah, we do need Jose Alvarado back. I agree. Oh, thank you, Drew. I appreciate that. We won't see Andrew Painter in Major League Baseball. Well, he's out. He's out till 2025, not 2024. He's out to 2025. He's getting that Tommy John. So, yeah, he's out. Okay, how you doing, Joe? Thoughts on Cody Clemens? When Cody Clemens is on the pitching mound, the Phillies are losing. That's my thoughts on Cody Clemens. That's cool. I love that. There's so many people who... By the way, if this video... I think I said 300 likes. If this video gets 300 likes, I will drop the video I was going to drop tomorrow. I will drop it today. It's a Wildwood bike ride. It's actually a really, really good video. It might be... When I was making it, I thought it was going to suck because I didn't have my thing to hold the camera. I have a thing I use to hold my camera on my school bag, and I forgot to pack it. So I'm riding a bike one-handed, so I thought it was going to suck. But it came out very good. A lot of good shit. Oh, well, the good thing is you don't have to live in PA to get the Pandemic Brew. You have to get the... Audubon, New Jersey, there's a place called the Red, White, and Brew Company. It's a brewery in Audubon. It's inside an old bank. It's a really cool spot. You go in there, and that's where you can get the Pandemic Brew. I think it's on tap right now. You might, I would check with the website, check their Instagram, because sometimes it's selling very good. I'm very happy for my friends. A lot of people, it was at the ballpark. And I don't have a can down here. I got to bring a can down here. Actually, I got to move upstairs again. So this place is a clusterfuck. What are they talking about? So Audubon, New Jersey. Oh, so anyway, the Phillies, when they brought it in the Pandemic beer, they said, hey, you can't use the Fanatics Eyes. It's going to make people think it's like a Phillies endorsed beer. and they have contracts with like, you know, major beer companies. So they're like, you know, you guys, of course, we're not going to make you guys throw out the beer. Of course, we're going to sell it. We just can't give people the cans. And so they had to do a relabeling. The good news is the first batch was only 350 cans. So it wasn't like a huge sample, a huge pile of beer. So it was just a weekend's worth of beer. It sold really good the first day and the second day and the last day. I think they have like 5 left of the 350. So it's cool. I think if people get to keep the can and we can sign the cans for people, I think it would be better for people to have a souvenir. A lot of people were telling me they were upset about that. And here's the thing. I have absolutely nothing to do with the beer. It's not my beer. I am not the Fandemic guys. Oscar and Brett are the Fandemic guys. It's all their thing. I support my friends in whatever they want to do. They allow me to videotape them, and like they give me content all the time. It's kind of my way of repaying them, is letting them use my platform so you guys know about their beer. I'm not 100% sure. I had a few beers in me the other day on Friday, and I was talking to the brewmaster at the brewery, and I said, "Listen, I always wanted to bartend. And I want to knock some bucket list shit off on my list, and bartending a shift was one of my things. Can I bartend at your brewery and make it like a celebrity bartending night, whatever, you know?" And he was like, yeah, we'll just give all the money to charity, all your tips to charity. I'm like, why we got to give it all to charity? I hate it. Here, I got a thing with charities. And tell me if I might be crazy. But after 9/11, right, there were charities everywhere. They had money out, containers out for money for 9/11 victims, firefighters of 9/11, everything 9/11, right? 9/11 memorial, everything. Money. We want your money. And then I saw a newspaper article where it said like 82% of every dollar given, which means 82 cents of every dollar given, goes just like to office supplies, computers, like paying people. And then you got like 18 cents, and then that's like other things. And like maybe they get like 2 pennies of the dollar. So you think you're donating $20, but you're actually donating. It just always makes me feel weird. I'm always searching. Well, I got a charity I'm going to hook up with this winter for Christmas time. When that becomes official, I'll talk about that. Because I know it's one thing. It's not money. I guess you could donate money and people can buy it. Well, I'll Bex and Buster's from Q102, they do a shoe drive every Christmas. And I'm like, that's good. That's good. I like that. A shoe drive is good. We could get shoes, give them to kids. I like it. I think that's a good thing. Or they do coat drives, stuff like that. Stuff that's tangible, that isn't money. I want to be part of, because it's just, like next year when the Phillies do their Toys for Tots night, I definitely want to hype it up a lot, and I want them, because last week or whatever it was, a few weeks ago, they just brought out a bin this big, and I was like, man, that's embarrassing for the whole stadium. They only had like a 1 bin full, but they don't promote it properly, so I'm going to help them with that next year. Fishing with Ant? Fishing with Ant. Oh, thank you, Fishing with Ant. I appreciate that. Yeah, Gina, I saw Luke was going to Washington this week. He told me yesterday. There was a video earlier this week where Luke wasn't in the video, and somebody wrote no Luke in the video, and I'm like, right, there's no there's no Luke in the video. I was like, I guess you didn't watch the video. But then he watched it again. I was like, oh, I was just kidding. Sometimes, I guess I'm just talking to you right now. Gina, just so you know, I go see Luke every day. Sometimes Luke is either he's like on his break or he gets his soda, or not his soda, his lemonade or whatever it is.
The best is when you scare him.
I don't mean to scare him.
It's okay. I knew you were coming. I just didn't know when.
So I always go see him. It's just sometimes, except for the one day when they released the beer, I had like 3 beers and I was a little buzzed. And sometimes like little kids want to take pictures with me, and I just didn't want them to see me that way. I got standards. But sometimes Luke just isn't there. There's one time I went 5 times, and he was either in the bathroom or getting a soda. I should record it with the lady. I'm like, where's Luke? And she goes, you know him. So, but Luke is my favorite. Luke is my favorite thing about Citizens Bank Park. I just absolutely love. He's not my favorite thing. But I like it's my highlight of my day is seeing Luke.
Who's your favorite Citizens Bank Park employee?
I don't even know. He's like, I consider Luke a friend. I don't even really think about him as an employee. I know we're gonna go. Oscar and I were just we talked about it for a brief second, but last year we went to Luke's house and watched a game in Luke's room where he has the soundboard set up. Right. So it's getting near the end of the season, so we got to get to Luke's house for an away game.
He's been busy.
Yeah, but he's going to, what's that? Yeah, well, I think Oscar said we're going to do it in September. And then also I think we got something lined up. And maybe in Centralia, PA, Oscar's working on something. This week, I got Bruce is at Citizens Bank Park, and I know the Nationals are in. Phillies are at the Nationals. I'm not going to go down for there. I'm getting a little. That 10-game homestand. There's always the one homestand during the season that just kind of burns me out on baseball, and it was this homestand. And I didn't even go to every game of the homestand. I missed. Excuse me. I missed. I think 2 or 3 games of this homestand. But it's a lot of time at the baseball stadium. And then the one day we got there when the gates opened, and we stayed like an hour and a half later, and I had to stay up. And the thing is, when we stay up later, I have to stay up even more later because I have to edit everything. It's a hustle. Here we are. Booty! How you doing, buddy? I miss you. My next stadium is... I don't have anything lined up. I think I'm done for this year. Maybe Washington, if maybe Atlanta, if that happens. But I can't really see anything else travel wise. We got football season coming, so we'll be doing the tailgates at the Eagles games. We'll be doing the Lionel Messier is at the Union tomorrow, and I was thinking about maybe going around there just to check out the vibe. I just like I hate like I get that this dude's like a really big soccer player, but I don't want to pretend like I might be able to get a seat, but I don't want to get a seat if I don't want to take a seat away from a real soccer fan who wants to see this guy play, you know? I don't go into Eagles games. Huh?
He's not popular, they're gonna sell out?
Oh, he's that popular. The game sold out in 8 minutes.
Wow.
He's how popular this guy is, hon. I tried to buy Union tickets the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
He's like David Beckham. Like he's that famous.
Really?
Yeah. He's the greatest soccer player in the world. That's what they say. I don't know. I rather meet a juggler. Hey, Liam from the Blue Rocks. Oh, Liam, where did I put that baseball? I think it's up in my... Oh, you know where it is? It's in my Pandemic bobblehead. Thank you, Liam. Liam, I got that baseball. I have a bobblehead of my buddies. And then in that bobblehead, there's a picture of Butch and Manny, Unk and me, and I got that baseball you gave me. It was a lot. I had a lot of fun with that game. It was a really... I had a good time. That was actually a really good time. If you live near Wilmington, Delaware, and you want to check out a minor league baseball stadium, the Blue Rock Stadium, you get. I had front row seats behind home plate, next to the dugout, like literally next to the dugout for $17. And Liam was the bat boy, and he came off the field, and he came up and took a picture with me. So for like the last few innings, me and Onslaught yelled at Liam. It was good. You got to go to the Red, White, and Brew Company in Audubon, New Jersey to get the can. The can will be available in the ballpark when the next batch gets in. Oh, it's okay, Chris. I was in a bad mood yesterday anyway. You probably better off not meeting me. Chicky and Pete's is definitely some type of spot. Yeah, Chicky and Pete's is inside the stadium. If you put a stand, if you put a booth inside a stadium, you're a partner of that stadium. Yeah. Did Flo Rida live up to the hype? Young Dylan, did you see the video? What's up, Joe? How you doing? So we're at the game. Let me finish it. So we're at the game. No hitter. Amazing. I'm crying. No hitter. I drive down the Wildwood right after the Phillies game. And me and Brett, we go back to the beach house. We had some Pandemic brews. They got cans that were dented at the brewery. So we popped a few of them, took a walk on the boardwalk, and went to bed. So Brett's parents have a shore house, and they have a few bedrooms. And Brett's like, yo, I'm going to sleep in the basement. Just pick any room you want, and you can pick there. So I just figured, I know Brett snores. Not bad, but a little bit. I slept in the room with him in Pittsburgh. And I was like, I'm not going to sleep near Brett. I'm going to sleep up in this other floor. And next to that floor, there was a bathroom that was going to get painted sometime tomorrow. That's what he said. So, okay. So I stay up till about 4 o'clock in the morning. I know I have to get the no-hitter video up immediately because it's an important news story. So I fall asleep around 4:51 is when I lay down, and I probably fall out like 10 after 5. 8 o'clock in the morning, I just hear all this banging. And there's a painter in the room next to me. So I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm like, I need to sleep because I'm going to see Flo Rida. And I go down in the kitchen. I dice up some stuff, pop it on social media. The painter leaves. It's 9 o'clock. I finally get back to bed. 10 o'clock, Brett's knocking on the door. He goes, yo, you want to ride the bike on the boardwalk or what? So I got about 3 hours of sleep on that Flo Rida concert. So we woke up, rode the boardwalk. By the way, if this video gets 300 likes, maybe I'm being greedy with the 300 likes. No, fuck that. 300 likes. I'll probably, if this video gets 300 likes, I'm going to drop the Wildwood video today and not tomorrow, which means I have to make content tonight with Rick the Puppy. Okay. So we ride the boardwalk. We do a museum. We go to a brewery. I meet this guy, Bob. Bob watches the stuff on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I guess follow me on Instagram. My Instagram, because of the Trey Turner story, my Instagram was shared on the New York Post, the USA Today. I did an interview with the Canadian Broadcast Company last week. So my Instagram got shared everywhere. So my Instagram blew up. And I think Bob saw me before the whole thing blew up with the Trey Turner stuff. But anyway, anyway, Bob saw my stuff on Instagram. He hit me up. He goes, "Yo, if you're in Wildwood and you want to get a ride somewhere, hit me up. I want to meet you. Let me give you a ride." So we meet Bob around 11 in the morning, and he drives us around on this golf cart in Wildwood, New Jersey. And he rode us. So he rode us to this one bar. And then he went home and got changed, came back, and then he just hung out with us all day. We rode around in his beach cart. So if you're in Wildwood and you need a ride, check out Free Shuttles in Wildwood. They're the golf carts. They have Hoop Tea advertising on them. So if you see those golf carts, book him, man. He's really a nice guy. Good guy. Good times. So he rode us around. And we checked out a few breweries. And then earlier in the afternoon, I went to Q102 to do their interview. I watched a radio show for a little bit, and we did a little promotion. It was great, man. It was a great day. We get to the concert, and I'm friends with Buster, the program director of Q102. He's also the afternoon host. So it was like a Q102 show, and I said, "Hey man, can I bring some of my friends to the show? I just want them, we're gonna make a day of it." He said, "Yeah, no problem." So we got a bunch of tickets. We all go in, and Buster's doing his hosting thing, and he's running around. And I'm hanging out with the Barbera Bear. We're having a good time, and we're just talking. Me, Brett, Buster. And I tell Buster, I'm talking to Buster, and then Buster, I don't know, he sees me, and he's like, "Oh, shit." And he pulls out of his pocket VIP meet and greet passes. And I throw it on. And he goes, boom. He goes, "Listen, I'm going to call you. When I'm going to call you, I want you to answer that fucking phone because I'm going to need you." I'm like, all right. So he calls me. And I run all the way through the venue. He gets me in. We go backstage, or in this VIP dressing room where the Wild One dancers are. He goes, "All right, we're going to go in. We're going to meet him." And he goes, "I don't think I'm going to be able to interview him tonight. I just want to make sure you meet him." And so it was just like, Q102 didn't, I don't even think he stole not stole, but copied my content and used it for promotion. He could have. But anyway, so, he didn't really get anything out of it except watching me have a happy experience. And he just said it was like, "I'm just happy I got to watch you be happy." It was cool. So he's a really good dude, man. So we go into the dressing room, and he goes, "We're going to go meet him." And we go into the dressing room, and Flo Rida's sitting there, and Buster goes, "Yo, I want you to meet my guy. I don't know if you remember him." And then I go, I did the speech. And then Flo Rida goes, yo, he's here. And he calls all the security guards and his dancers. They all come over and meet me. And I just wanted to tell him, when times were very stressful for me, his music really made me happy. That's all I wanted to tell him. And people tell me stuff like that all the time. Like, you get me through some tough times. And every time they say that, I know it means a lot because I don't say that to a lot of people, so I appreciate it every time I hear it. But I just had to tell Flo Rida, but man, you just bring me so much happiness, and I really want you to know how happy I am to meet you. And it was great. It was quick. But he knew my name, like he knew Philly, not John, but he knows Philly Captain. When I got to, and then I was like, yo, if you need me to come on stage, and the guy got to go on stage, and we performed, and when I got on stage, he goes, yo, it's the Philly Captain, said my name on stage twice, and I don't know, man, I think that's pretty fucking awesome. It was a great time. I got to meet him, and it doesn't get much better than that. I guess that's it, right? And then I went back to the ballpark the next day. My buddies came out with their beer. It sold crazy. The lady working at the stand said, yo, I never sold this much beer. And, yeah, it was great. It was great. Oh, I'm not going to get a Flo Rida tattoo. I have one can of unopened Fandemic brew. And I don't think I'm ever going to open it because they're changing the label. So it's the original label. I'm going to keep it. Thank you, LA, for watching. Oh, yeah, Buster is, he's the program director for Q102. Very nice guy. Oh, I'm glad I got you crying, Carly. That's great. I told you, Crazy Joe. Crazy Joe. I met Crazy Joe via Adam the Woo. We made a video at the Franklin Institute. And Crazy Joe, he hits me up every so often. He goes, yo, we got to get together, make a video, go do something. And I said, well, listen, when baseball season's here, I'm pretty much just laser focused on baseball, so I don't really do much, you know? I may take the dog for a walk, but you don't want to walk the dog. Well, actually, Crazy Joe did walk the dog. I used to take the dogs for walks and, you know, go for a scooter ride, but I don't go out, you know, go into, like, doing stuff, you know? I don't go doing stuff every day. And I said, but you should come up and watch a baseball game with us. It's a lot of fun in 301. That's no bullshit, you know? Thanks, Brett. I gotta take Rick for a walk. I haven't walked him since I've been back since I've been back from Wildwood. So I gotta take him for a walk today. I'm just trying. Oh, you know what? We'll figure it out now. Don't say Kensington. I'm not going to Kensington. Where should I walk Rick the puppy today? Where would you like to see? I'm not going to Kensington. I feel like wearing flip-flops. And you know, so if there's a special neighborhood you want to see in Philadelphia, I don't feel like going to New Jersey today. Maybe Ben Salem, but nobody cares about Ben Salem, so I probably won't go there. I could walk Rick around the Franklin Mills Mall, the outside. I think I just did that. Oh, I did one area where I fell off the scooter up in the far northeast. That might be a good spot. Maybe around Morrell Park, where my grandmother lived. I could do Frankfurt. I don't mind walking around. Well, it's summertime. No, I'm not. Well, I don't know if I'm going to. Let's see what neighborhood we're doing. Manioc. Does Tommy still work at the bullpen? No, Tommy had a. He does still work there. He's off for the rest of the year. He has a family thing he's taking care of. Um, nah, I'll tell you, Dick hurts. When you party with a Flo Rida concert, and then your friends come out with a beer, uh, so you got to take a vacation. Your liver needs a break. I went pretty hard this week. I try not to. I saw Joey Spada for the first time in like a year, and he called me a fat fuck to my face. When I was a kid, he snitched on me to my parents for cursing, and then I saw him in my mid-40s. He called me a fat fuck to my face. And he didn't call me he said, he goes, well, you're putting on weight. And I know I am. And it's because I'm eating bad, and I'm drinking beer, and I got to stop. But the thing is, the pandemic brew, I don't think that's that many calories. But the Flo Rida, oh my God. We went to a brewery on Wednesday or Thursday, and we had a flight of beer. Then we went back to Brett's house. He has this nice deck on the Wildwood. We're sitting there drinking the beer, and I think we smoked a jazz cigarette. No, I smoked a jazz cigarette. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I did. Who knows? I remember it was right before the Flo Rida concert, and I was like, shit, I might meet Flo Rida. I had no guarantee that I would meet Flo Rida. But I was like, oh, I might meet Flo Rida tonight. I don't want to be fucked up when I meet Flo Rida. So I was like in third gear getting ready to go in the fourth, and I had to pop it back in the first real quick. Drank some seltzer water for a while. And then it was a good time. But anyway, and then the next day I went to the Phillies game. And I think we had like 3 beers. And I was like, shit, I got to drive home. I got to stop. And then I was like, even when the game was over, they were like, oh, we're going to stick around and give the players our beer cans. You want to stick around? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, the more I wait, the better it is. So I did. Oh, I just took Rick the puppy to Wissonoman Park. We just did that like 2 months ago. It was like a history video because Wissonoman Park, if you don't know, the guy who lived at Wissonoman Park, we had this big mansion. He owned this big plot of property, and I think his first name was Robert Cornelius. I think his name was, and he was part of the guy who took the first photograph ever in the United States, which was a photo of Central High School. He was like part of the development. He wasn't the guy who took the picture, but he was part of the team. And then a few years later, he took the very first selfie. He took a picture of himself. And he was the first person to take a selfie, and he lived in Wissonoman Park. That whole park was his property. And I think he lived there in like 1839 to 1850. And when he died, he gave it all to the city. Oh, well, colors. Listen to these insane Baltimore Orioles fans who disrespect our beautiful heritage. These Orioles fans who disrespect our national anthem. By the way, I haven't brought up that you guys disrespect the national anthem in a long time. I was doing international interviews all up and down around the world talking about Trey Turner and what we did. Not one person brought you guys up and how you disrespect the national anthem. And red, white, and blue are colors. Colors. And I don't see how you can't rhyme the red, since red is part of the United States, we can't. Can I say the communist Reds? I can't say that because America has red in its flag. Your logic makes no sense. And there is no other fan base that I've witnessed. I've heard there's a few other ones, but there's no fan base I've seen disrespect this great country of ours more than the Baltimore Orioles fans. And that's a fact. That's a fact. At least Colin Kaepernick, I could sing the national anthem. I wouldn't get scared. It's terrifying. Lower Marion High School. Oh, here's the thing. All right, so what time is it? Where's my phone? Yeah, West Philly is out of we're I think Manayunk's too far west. It's rush hour. Which it's not rush hour, but if you take the Schuylkill Expressway, anytime from 3 o'clock to about 6:30, maybe even 7, you're not expressing anywhere. I got a thing. I can't sit in traffic. Mayfair sounds good. And one fun fact, when Kobe Bryant died, one of the things about Kobe Bryant, you'll see me, I'll mention this in all my videos at Christmas time. When we go to City Hall and they have all these beautiful things on display, they have all these beautiful Christmas stores at City Hall. They always have pictures of Kobe Bryant in the Lakers outfit. And I always wonder, who are these jerk-offs buying a Laker uniform thing to hang in their house? I don't care where he's from. He's not even really from Philly. Lower Marion's outside of Philly. I don't get... I get that he's from here, but he did some bad things to us. And I don't like Kobe Bryant. And when he died, I was going to... They opened up the gym to his high school, which he donated to. He donated like a really nice gym. And I was driving to the gym to see what it was like, and my car broke down. And I knew that was the ghost of Kobe Bryant saying, "Nah, dickhead, you talk so much shit about me, you don't get to see my gym." Oh, Sean Mack? Yo, Sean Mack. He does get there early. He gets there before... I usually get there when doors open. Yeah. Mayfair. All right, I'm trying to think of where I can go in Mayfair that I haven't done in a while. I got into an altercation at the abandoned Kmart. Not abandoned. Kmart closed down, and now they have this open store on the boulevard. And I had this thing where the security guard, the video is called "The World's Angriest Security Guard," and this guy just like lost his mind. So I went and I was trying to take a picture of the Kmart, and he like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Instead of just saying, "No, you can't take pictures," he was like really a dickhead about it. And then so since he was a dickhead, I was a dickhead back to him. And then I went back a few days later. And he challenged me to a Muay Thai fight. He challenged me to... I challenge you to Muay Thai. And I was like, what do you think? I'm insane? You define the rules that clearly? No. And now I know I'm never going to fight you now because because you're a Muay Thai stuff. But the security guard, man, out of his mind with anger. So I just stay away from there. Mayfair. I just did the Roosevelt Mall. Maybe around Lincoln High School. I haven't done Lincoln High School. Is that Mayfair? I guess that's Mayfair. We can start at Frankfurt and Cotman. And listen, let's not pretend. I have a fly in this room. I have a fly in this room always. It's my pet. His name's Larry. Maybe, yeah, we'll go to... I got it. We're going to go to Mayfair, Frankfurt, Cotman. Cut through. go up to Lincoln, do a lap around Lincoln. That's a video. Boom, cut through Pennypack. I gotta get the Patreon people some shit. Boom, that's another video. And then, okay, I got it all planned. Well, okay, yuppies are all right. I like that people say yuppie. I wonder if you mean hipsters. You mean yuppies. I think you mean yuppies. Because yuppies, I think, are like 40-year-old people who are just becoming parents. They're yuppies. So that's good. This is what we got planned for today. I'm going to go see the grandbaby. I haven't seen him since Flo Rida. Matter of fact, I usually, when I go down to places, I got so many kids, I don't buy them shit. But I got one grandbaby, so I was like, I could buy him a shirt every time I go somewhere. So whenever I sleep overnight, I try to buy him a t-shirt. No, yuppies is a term. So there's a neighborhood. By the way, we're just trying to get, if we can get to 300 likes, I will drop my Wildwood video as soon as I'm done this live stream. So if you're just joining us, please subscribe. And please like. Now, last week, when I told people to subscribe, I said, listen, you got to subscribe. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be the best week of my life. And I was pretty goddamn accurate. I didn't know there was going to be a no-hitter. And that really, like, that kind of cemented it. I used to work in Perilous Hills. So anyway, there's a neighborhood in Philadelphia back in the mid-90s. It was called Fishtown. Right? Fishtown was a middle-class working neighborhood. Roofers lived there. Cops lived there. You know, it was a middle-class neighborhood. And and it was kind of tough. As a matter of fact, the first time I've ever had a gun pulled on me, it was in Fishtown in the early 90s. So there was, so they pulled anyway, so it was a very tough area. And sometime in the early 2000s, the houses that were going for $40,000 are now going for $300,000. It just happened overnight. And Fishtown became like a really gentrified area. And sometimes I'll run into people who still live in Fishtown back when their neighborhood was middle class. Now it's upper middle class Fishtown, which is very close to Kensington. And so like a house that they bought for $20,000, the property value of that $20,000 house might be $300,000. So a lot of people sell off the property just so they don't have to pay the taxes. And that's what happens with gentrification. The poor people have to move out and all that shit. But some people stuck around. They're paying the high taxes because the taxes in Philadelphia, besides the additional taxes we have on soda, cigarettes, and I think even alcohol and gasoline and bags, we got some extra taxes. But I would say the property taxes aren't crazy. In New Jersey, it's a lot. New Jersey taxes are like $10,000 a year or something. It's outrageous in some cities. I have a little row home. I think my taxes might be $3,000 at most. It's nowhere near there. It might be even half of that. But I know it's changed a few times. They've been doing these property assessments every few years, and everybody's property's going up because everything's going up in the city. And whenever I meet somebody from if I meet somebody today in Fishtown, and like, yo, I watch your channel, and when they say, I can't stand what these yuppies are doing to our neighborhood, I know that they were people who lived in Fishtown during the 90s because everybody from the 90s Fishtown crew, they call hipsters yuppies. Very weird, but it's a thing. A trailblazer. Right, yeah, folks, if you can, please wake the kids, tell the neighbors, hit the like button. We're trying to get the Wildwood video to drop. Although, it's not that many people. There's more likes than people watching. So why can I mean, technically, 300 likes. Well, no, let's just keep saying 300 likes. Stone Hiker, how you doing? Yeah, but you know what? After if they could raise the property every 2 years, right? 2% every after 5 years, that's still a gradual upgrade. And then there's some people who live in Fishtown. They're like 89-year-old women who bought their house. Like I know there was a lady who it just a horrible thing happened with Fishtown. Fishtown, when I lived there in the 90s, or I hung out there in the 90s, there was a lot of abandoned lots. A lot of lots where people would, like, just abandoned lots, overgrown weeds. Sometimes the neighbors, if you had neighbors on the block that would care, they would mow the lot, and they would let the kids on the block play in that lot. And some of them were called tot lots and all this stuff. There was one in Cedar and Dolphin. And, all of the lots in Fishtown, the abandoned lots that nobody lived at for years, they were all bought up in the last 20 years by these developers. And what they're doing is they buy this plot of land and they dig a hole and they don't reinforce things properly. And the old houses next door to the plot of land that just been sitting there, they've been collapsing. They've been collapsing like crazy. And there was this little 89-year-old woman who had this house next door to her house, right? She had this house, and the plot of land was bought. The developer started digging up next to her property, and her house collapsed. Luckily, she was like at the supermarket at the time, and nothing happened to her. But she did die of a heart attack a week later, and it had to be because of the stress of losing her home. And the way she got her home, she was born in that fucking house 89 years ago. She lived in that. Her mother gave birth to her in that house. It was her parents' house, so it was handed down generationally, and so you got little old ladies who just been living in houses for decades. And I don't know, it was a crazy story. And there was a pizza shop in Fishtown, Key Pizza, which is a pizza shop I used to go to in the 90s. And same fate. A guy dug up a plot of land and boom, collapsed. Horrible, horrible. And nothing bad ever happens to the developer. Nothing bad ever happens to the developer. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. It's nice to see. All right. So yeah, I guess everything's done. I came on here. I gave you guys an update. Oh, Robert, thank you. Thank you very much. I don't keep these live streams up very long. So if you enjoy seeing my live streams, if you can click the join button, it's only $1.99. It comes out once a month, and what that does is you get access to all my live streams. I usually, like, once or twice a month, I make them all private so you guys can watch them. it's a little things like that that let me do things like go to Flo Rida concerts for a living. Um, things are going pretty well for like Philly Captain Industries. I got the T-shirts. I'm doing cameos. I'm hustling. I'm hustling to make this thing everything it could be. I got a Patreon. Patreon people, don't worry. You guys got some stuff coming to you. I just got to figure out a time to edit it. Matter of fact, I might edit some now, and then when Cheryl takes Owen to work, I'll edit something up real quick. I'll have you guys something today. I got so much stuff backlogged, but pretty much my life has been going to baseball games, and pretty much my life has been going to baseball games and editing. So. Yeah. Oh, that's very nice of your mom to do that for you. Make it. I don't make it. I own my. Wait, let me read this right. Claw he num. My mom allows me to pay $150 a month for rent because I love to clean the house and it relaxes my ADHD. I try to walk my rabbits. I love the live streams. Make a deal with your parents. I don't need to make a deal with my parents. I have my own house. And yeah, this is my. All this is mine. I have a house in Bridesburg. It does beat a 9 to 5 job. I do work with other people. I just started doing this stuff with this company Collects, which I don't have a link to it. Don't download it unless you download it. I don't give a shit. Just download it, and I'm gonna tell people. So there's an app. There's a link to it on my last video I put out today. But pretty much what I do is, the companies talk to me and they want me to do certain things for them. And, it's cool. So they're a nice company, and they have this company where you could scan your cards, and they try to figure out what the card's worth. They're still working out the kinks on that from what I understand. But you could scan your cards, and you can look at my baseball cards. Look at my baseball cards, and you go, "Yo, Cap, I want to buy your Billy Ripken baseball card." And I would say I would never sell my Billy Ripken baseball card. You can look at it, and you can look at it on the Collects app. Key is doing good. The key is doing good. Yeah, the key is doing real good. Just made my 5th payment on the Kia today, which means, I don't know. I just, all right. I think I'm done. Should I drop the Wildwood video today? What do you guys think? Let you guys know. You guys are here. If you guys want to see the Wildwood video, let me know in the comments right now. Just say yes, Cap, please, or no, Cap, not do it tomorrow. Is it too much? I just dropped a video. I don't know, like, if you saw the last video, you're gonna watch it. Do I need more time? Do you guys want to watch it? I don't know. Because I don't want to drop. Like, somebody said something to me today. They go, "Yeah, sometimes you drop 2 videos. I don't have enough time to watch the other video." And I did drop a video last night at 7 o'clock, which means it wasn't even 24 hours. My son's playing video games right now, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs. And he gets very angry playing video games. And I wonder, can something that makes you that angry be good for you? I don't know. Yeah, but if I wait till 300 likes, I don't think I'm going to get that. I don't have 300 people watching. But if people watched it, nothing happened to the scumbag who hit my car and drove away. Nothing happened. Flo Rida, yeah, of course Flo Rida's up. Flo Rida's been up. I try not to sit on my stuff for more than a few hours. If I go to an event and I record, I try to upload when I come. I upload and edit when I come home. Or when the second I get home, I start uploading and editing. Matter of fact, the no-hitter, I started editing on the drive home from Wildwood. I would pull over at a rest stop, and because I was trying to edit as quickly as possible. And usually, I try to make everything end like on a joke or something interesting happening. But sometimes I just cut. I cut that one real quick. Oh, those are the Wild One dancers. Didn't you know? Oh, why would you delete that? That was such a good. There's nothing but crying in baseball.
Oh, you put the stuff in the dryer for me?
Of course I did, babe.
Fucking love.
Yeah.
Do you want turkey sandwiches?
Yes. Oh, D, it was good seeing you. Listen, D, I heard that you went back up and I missed you. I had to go see Luke, and then I started talking to the Chase U, the cheesesteak guy, for a bit, and then I'm sorry I missed you the second time. I really like hanging with you. You're a fun chick. So hopefully next time I see you. It was just too damn hot. Matter of fact, if you watched the video yesterday, you're looking out at the crowd, and there's nobody there. There's nobody there. And the game was practically sold out. Everybody was in the shade. Yeah, Flo Rida's dancers, the Wild One dancers. Don't you know? Me and Flo Rida, we got to meet last week. Tired. Yeah. I'm going to wrap it up. You can't think of things to talk about. That's time to wrap it up. I just did a cameo for this guy. And it was the first cameo I ever did where somebody said, please keep it clean. Another 5-star review. I'm about to have 100 5-star reviews on Cameo.
Speaking of reviews, do any of your viewers know of a good appliance guy that's a legit appliance guy?
Oh, yeah, if you live in the Philadelphia area, we had a problem with our refrigerator. And my friend Doug is a refrigerator repairman, right? So he said, we got to get this thing fixed, and looked at the refrigerator. And he said, oh, we'll come over, we'll fix it one day. But sometimes it's tough to get a hold of Doug. So we've been waiting on a few days to...
I had someone here, he told him to stop, and then he's been here twice.
Right. But I think he uses the excuse to come here just... So he's been delaying the job. So if anybody knows a good refrigerator repairman, could anybody just leave a comment or something? Just leave a comment. People put messages in my inboxes. I feel I need to apologize or just address this. At every single Phillies game that there's a home game, every single game, I will have about 30 people go in my inbox and ask me if I'm at the game so they can take a picture with me. So I've been missing a lot of messages, and I feel horrible that I don't get to the messages. It would be better, I think, if you write a YouTube comment or a comment on Instagram, not in my inbox, but like on the page. You have a better chance of me seeing it than going in my inbox. If you email me, just so you know, if you email me, I don't open it. I just don't. I don't trust the world. I think you're giving me a virus. So my email is just business only from people I know. I know people. I had somebody email me earlier. There's somebody emails me news stories all the time. I just had to block his email. I don't want that shit sent to me. I don't watch the news, so because it drives me crazy. So this guy is emailing me news stories every day, and I just had to block the emails. So I just don't read emails. Also, you can get viruses if people attach files. So just write comments. It's the best way for me to see it. Or get on a live stream and ask me a question, you know? Oh, I don't think we have a foreign brand. I think we have a... I think we have a Kenmore. I think. I forget. I think it's... Hey, Cher! What kind of refrigerator do we have? Kenmore, right? Frigidaire. We have a Frigidaire. I think that's American. I don't know. Yeah, we just got it 2 years ago.
Yeah, we got it from Lowe's during the pandemic.
And then the
Because we couldn't go fridge shopping, remember?
why couldn't we go fridge shopping?
The world was closed.
Oh, our fridge broke during that 2 weeks where everything was closed. But they were open. Everybody was sold out of everything. I remember Home Depot was absolutely horrible. Fucking absolute horrible customer service. And I loved Lowe's. Something happened with our fan. Pizza City's pretty good. Hey, Cap. Have I done a video at Shady Brooks Farms? I don't think I have, Deckhand Dan. I go there all the time. Not all the time. I go there twice a year. I go there around Halloween, and I don't do anything because everything's too expensive. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. I love you. Can you give me a yucky water? You gotta take Owen to work?
Yeah, why?
Okay. No, I'll wait for you to come back, and then I'll take Rick somewhere.
I mean, you can drop them if you want to go.
So dope that you are hustling and following. Oh, so dope. It's careful with that word dope in Philadelphia. People think other things.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate it.
Welcome, puppy.
Sometimes I have to read it. It's so dope that you're hustling and following your passion despite that jerk off. Well, you know that guy who said I sent. So you don't know my origin story is I wanted to be a tour guide for a company, for like a tour company in Philadelphia. And so I spent a month in the historic district doing history tours and trying to become a tour guide. And thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Let me read. Well, Flo Rida knows who I am. He'll remember me. So, she makes the best sandwiches. She makes the best sandwiches. I'm so lucky. Every sandwich is so good. Every time she makes something, she goes, "Do you like it?" And I, "Yes. You've been making me food for 8 years. It's only been one time it's not been good. You put too much salt in something one time. But every other time, it's been magnificent. I'm so lucky." So I was working for this tour guide company, and I did a tour, like an imaginary tour for my friends and families, and we had a good time. And after my tour was over, the tour guide goes, "Yeah, I like you, but I think you're a little too Philly. We want to have a professional, we want a professional feel." And as you see, I'm not the most professional type. And he said, "You might be a little too Philly for our company. Just so you know, the people who do the history tours in Philadelphia, they're usually history professors. The one guy was the history professor in Penn University. They just love history so much that they do tours too. And they don't even make that much money. They make $50 a tour plus tips.
Is it good, baby?
It's very good. Everything you make is good. I just said that.
Not everything.
At one time, you put too much salt in something.
There was that one time.
That one time.
That one time.
And you even knew it.
Yeah, I know, but it was too late.
Okay.
It was meatloaf. How do you unfuck a meatloaf?
But this is a sandwich. I mean, it's a sandwich. It's so good.
How do you unfuck a meatloaf? You don't. You don't.
So, I love you.
I love you.
So they said I was too Philly. While I was working for that company, I started working for the Philadelphia Water Ice Company at the ballpark. And that's how I started making Phillies videos as I was working for the Philadelphia Water Ice Company. And for up until yesterday, for certain games, the Philadelphia Water Ice Company would have me come in and I would make videos for them for their stuff. And that's why I mentioned their stuff in a lot of the videos, is because they get me into the games. I film content promoting their stuff. I also promote, not just their stuff. I promote everything in the ballpark. So I'm kind of like a little thing. But that's just on weekend games. Like if you watch my Twitter, if they have a new water ice stand, I'll talk about it. But something, I think that came to an end on Sunday. Somebody got pissed off. And so I think that partnership, which will never end. I will still do the same thing I did for them. They're my friends. They let me practice making videos at the ballpark. And I always support Philadelphia Water Ice and Richmond's Ice Cream. But there's some crazy shit going on. Yeah. Will I be coming to England to see the Phillies play? I don't know. I gotta take some care of things. I've been going very hard the last few weeks, and I've been doing pretty well with my YouTube checks and everything, you know. And so I've been doing okay the last few months. But before that, when I stopped, so anyway, let me get back to my passionate story. I quit my job. I was working at Boyd's. I was a customer service rep. It was a very expensive and prestigious clothing store. It's still very hoity-toity, very fancy. And I have many good friends that work there, but I just couldn't work there. It wasn't my vibe. It was very... When you work around rich people, you can feel... Like, you just see things. Like, when I saw a guy... Like, the guy who owns Chicky and Pete's, I saw him spend $20,000 on his fall wardrobe. On just his wardrobe for fall. Now, I know you got... When you're the face of the company... and your company's $1 billion company or $1 million company, you gotta look good. That's something important. You gotta know. You gotta look good. So I get why he does that, but you know, I'm thinking like, damn, like that's someone that could be half of someone's payroll, or a waitress who just works on the weekends. That could be her whole money. And boom, he's just getting it in sweaters and shirts. I'm like, damn, man. You get to see the class system, and it really, I do okay with rich people. But they're a different type of vibe. So I quit that job. I had a job there for 3 years where people would come get suits. If they were a lawyer, I would bag up the suit, carry it to the car, kind of like not a little concierge, not really, but. Like, I would set up deliveries for the clothing. It was a cool job. They were nice people. It was very easy. Very easy. And near the end of my job where I would help people set up deliveries, it kind of went away because they changed the whole store. So they gave me this other job, which I hated. And they wanted me to do more work than everybody else. And I was like, look, if you're not going to pay me more, I can't do more work. And so I just had to quit. I was really in a dark spot with my depression and my mental health. And I quit. And that quickly, boom, I was like 280 pounds, 275 pounds. And that quickly, as soon as I quit that job, within 2 months of me working at the water ice stand at the ballpark, I lost 40 pounds. Like, boom, quickly. And at that time, I was making YouTube videos at the ballpark. I don't think I was even making any money yet. And maybe near the end of the season, I was making maybe $100 a month on YouTube. But it might have taken me 3 months to make $100. Matter of fact, I think that I was making $30 a month, and YouTube doesn't pay until you make $100. And so I was doing the YouTube thing. And I was working at the water ice stand. And Cheryl got a job. And everything was going okay. I got laid off from the water ice job at the end of the year. And I told Cheryl, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I haven't taken a vacation in years. And I'm going to apply for unemployment and just take a few months and figure out what the fuck I'm going to do. And then I'll start working a job. but I'm going to take from October to about February and figure out what I'm going to do. Maybe I can make it to the next baseball game. Like, just take the baseball the whole off season off, make YouTube content, and I'm going to try to figure this thing out. And so that's what I did for 6 months. I collected unemployment. I made YouTube videos. My unemployment wasn't much with the water ice company, but it was enough to get by. And then everything just stopped because of the pandemic. Everything stopped, including my unemployment, but I was making YouTube videos. And some of my YouTube videos during the pandemic, my best video I ever made got like $1,000 in one day. And then also during the pandemic, I started hosting Quizzo. And it kind of, I just keep hustling. I just keep finding ways. So as long as I keep doing things my way, I ain't got nobody really to answer to. Like, if I do stuff at bars, I got to talk to the owners of the... Well, actually, you don't, because they never... I find that the bars I deal with, I can never talk to the owners. But I just keep hustling. And long story short, I don't know if I can hustle hard enough to go to London. Or I don't know if I can justify spending that much money on something and not take my family on a vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like, my family hasn't really gone on a vacation in a few years. We went to Orlando a few years ago. We spent weeks down the Jersey Shore, but since the pandemic, my family and I have not gone on vacation together. So I think I would do something with my family before going to Phillies in London. I think. They're also in Fenway and Boston the next week. And I think, honestly, I think I would get... I don't think it's worth it view-wise. I think I would get the same amount of views if I go to Fenway in Baltimore. Oh, Brazil, ciao. How you doing? I worked in retail the majority of my life. I was an iron worker for a week. I was one of the rebar guys, carrying the rebar. What are they called? Riggers. You carry 80 pounds of rebar, you pick it up, you drop. I did it for a week, and I just couldn't do it. Not meant for it, not built for it. So I worked in retail management a long time. From like 1997. No, I started retail managing in 99. I managed McEwen's Deli on Rising Sun Ave. I was kind of like the manager there. And I managed it for a year. And it was a good spot because I wasn't like really the manager, but I ran shit. But I ran it with the deli manager, and it was cheaper for him to have me run it than pay somebody, $50,000, $60,000 a year. He's paying me like maybe $30,000 a year to run this deli, working 6 days a week, open to close, man. I hustled. Learned a little bit about business. You don't learn that stuff until you're older. Every day, everything is a learning opportunity. And I learned a lot there. I didn't know I learned a lot there, but I learned a lot there. And then from there, since I had retail management experience, I quit McEwen's because I wanted off for WrestleMania weekend, and they wouldn't give me off. So I quit. I've had over 60 jobs in my lifetime. I have... I'm also bipolar, and I suffer from like manic depression and all that stuff. And I I have a lot of mental disorders. I'm very open about it. I don't sugarcoat it. Sometimes when I'm really, really bad, I feel really depressed, I let people know, because I know a lot of people don't talk about it. And I really think it's important people know, like, hey, man, you may see me in a video and I'm super happy at a no-hitter, but just know the next day or a few days later, sometimes it's hard for me to get out of bed because I just don't feel right, you know? So I always talk about my my bipolar disorder. Fuck am I talking about? Oh, so anyway, because of my bipolar disorder, I have this thing where if you fucking, I have this mentality. It's called fight or flight. It's fight or flight. So if you do something wrong to me, I'm going to want to fight you. Not physically fight you, or maybe physically fight you, but argue with you, debate with you, yell with you. And if somebody who is a higher up than me won't let me fight with them, like they kind of fucking push me off, I'll just quit a job. So I have had over 60 jobs in my lifetime. A lot of them when I was a teenager, I would have a job. Now I'm counting every job I had for at least one day. Like I worked at a pizza shop for a day, and the guy said, "Listen, it's not going to work out." Like that counts as a job. Like I worked there, he paid me. Some jobs I had for like a week and I just quit because I didn't like it. Some jobs I quit because I wanted to go to Wildwood for. So like, I had a lot of jobs as a teenager and I quit. So that's about 20 of them. But from about 2001 to 2019, I've worked at Hollywood Video, which is probably one of my favorite jobs. I worked there for 4 years. By the way, we're trying to get 300 likes so I can drop the Wildwood video today. So, I worked for Hollywood Video, and I worked I was a store manager. I worked in Northeast Philadelphia. Then I went to Trenton, New Jersey. And I went to Fairless Hills, and I went to Flowers Mills. And what my specialty was is I would go to stores that were fucked up. The staff was stealing. Nobody was renting. They were making like less than $1,000 a day. And I would go to a store. I would fire everybody. I would work open to close myself. I would hire a staff. Get that staff trained. I would stay there for about a year. Get the assistant manager as good as me. Boom. We go to the next store. I go to the next store and I fix it up. So I was like the fixer guy. I was the manager of the year for the company Hollywood Video in 2003. So I was really good at that job. I loved that job. Unfortunately, my store was robbed at gunpoint. And they blamed me for robbing the store. And it turned out it was like an inside job from one of the employees, but they accused me of robbing the store. So I quit. I was like, fuck you. That's the fight or flight. So I'm like, yeah, I can't fuck you. You think you want me to take a lie detector test because you think I stole? You think I stole? Fuck you. So I quit Hollywood Video. And when I quit Hollywood Video, I get a job with GameStop. And GameStop was a decent job. But then, GameStop, if you ever bought a game at GameStop, you know one thing. They want you to buy the stupid magazine, or they used to do this. They don't do it anymore. They make you want to reserve something, or they want you to do the stupid magazine. Because the magazines are full of advertising, which brings you back into the store. And, whatever. So I had this one district manager. She was fucking awesome, dude. Awesome. And they were doing this thing. It was an experimental store. It was a GameStop plus a movie stop too. So this lady was like, "I think you're perfect because you used to run a video store, and you know about video games because they were in the video store. So I want you to be the manager of the very first GameStop movie stop all in one store. And so that's what I was hired for. And she was great, but then she quit. She went to work for a book company. And then I got this new district manager, and me and him didn't vibe. And all he worried about was magazine subscriptions. And I didn't want to be a magazine salesman. I wanted to be a retail manager. And there was too much added pressure. And I didn't like it. So I quit GameStop. And I work for this company, Movie Gallery. I take a big, so I for Hollywood Video, I was making the low 30s. And then I go to GameStop and I'm making around 40. And then I go from GameStop to Movie Gallery where I'm back to making 30. But I had to take a big pay cut because I know I can't be happy at this job. It's never about money. I'm not making a lot of money in retail anyway. It's never about money. It's about happiness. And I was like, fuck this. I can't work for this guy. So I go work at EB Games. Oh, I go to Movie Gallery. So I go to Movie Gallery, but Movie Gallery doesn't pay, it actually pays less than Hollywood Video. And they were going to hire me to become a district manager. That was the plan. I was going to be a district manager. So I was doing all this shit, and I finally get a store, and it was just too much. Traveling through the Schuylkill Expressway, and the pay was less than Hollywood Video, and I got comfortable living at that GameStop money, and I was like, I gotta leave. I'm putting on a lot of mileage on my car. So I left GameStop. I left Movie Gallery. And I went to EB Games. One of my old district managers from Hollywood Video went to EB Games. And he found out I was looking for a job. And he was super stoked to poach me. Because he knew I was so good at Hollywood Video. And I was at EB Games for about 6-7 months. And then we get the news. GameStop is buying EB Games. So I already quit this company. So EB Games was so much better than working for GameStop because EB Games paid you commission. They paid you commission. That was pretty much it. The healthcare was a little bit better, and you would be asked to upsell. Like you would say, if you pay $3 for a game and you scratch it, break it, you come back and we give you a new game. And not everybody would do it, but I was a smart investment, I think. And people would buy it, and most people wouldn't come back with a game, but it was a good guarantee. And but I think for every $3 protection we sold, you make 50 cents, right? So that doesn't sound like a lot. But let's say it's Madden, the week of Madden, when Madden comes out, a store would sell 5,000 copies of Madden in a day. So you those Madden days, Final Fantasy days, when those days come out and people buy all those big games, you would make a lot. You would make maybe an extra $500 a paycheck. So it was great. So GameStop comes in and they go, hey, you know how we give you guys all this extra commission? Well, we're going to stop that. So I was like, fuck, man. So we're working at GameStop. Our commission stops. The pay, I'm making about the same that I was making at GameStop before. And here's the deal. Guess what happens? They go, listen, Captain. They called me Captain back. No, they called me John. They said, John, we're going to do a district alignment, and you're going to get a new district manager. It's going to be this guy from GameStop. And I said, that's the reason I quit GameStop. And so I had to talk with the regional manager. And I said, listen, talk to my EB manager. Talk to my electronics boutique guy. He'll tell you, I do my job good. My staff's good. We do good, right? Let me keep a job, but don't get me a different district manager. So they kind of fucked with the alignment so he wouldn't get my job. But then, so now I'm doing the same job I was doing a few months ago, and I'm selling all these upgrades. But now my paycheck isn't the same. So now I'm just pissed off. I'm like, this is horseshit. So I had to get another job, and I wanted to get a job out of retail. I wanted to have weekends off. I didn't want to work every weekend. I'm sick of. I remember the one time the district manager was a Saturday afternoon at Christmas time, and I left for an hour to go watch my kids do a Christmas pageant. And it was at 3:00 in the afternoon on Christmas, and he called and I wasn't there. And I came back. He goes, "Yo, why'd you leave so early?" I said, "My kid was in the Christmas pageant." And he said, "Well, if I known you were going to do that, I wouldn't give you permission." And I said, "Yeah, that's why I didn't ask. That's why I did it." So, like, so I quit that job. I wanted to be like a family guy, Monday through Friday. So then I got this job with a company from Ireland. And what they did, it was Kerrygold butter. And what they did is there were a butter. They bought this distributor in Maryland, and they put their butter. The country of Ireland put this distributor just so they could put their butter in supermarkets. Now, Kerrygold butter now, I think if you see it at a supermarket, it's not out of place. But in 2008, it was a very new butter in the United States. And I was part of the team that put Kerrygold butter in Gennardi supermarkets and in Safeways all across Delaware and Philadelphia. I had a district manager. He was okay. And then I got this other district manager who was a lazy pile of shit. And I was making decent money. I was making like $55,000 a year, which is pretty good for a guy who barely graduated high school. I was doing real good, but my district manager kept riding me. And then they wanted me to go to this store in the middle of like southern Delaware on a Friday, and my order would be 15 pieces. So I would make it so my orders on Wednesdays would be big, and I wouldn't have to go down there on Friday. So then I was working 4 days a week. And for some reason, my boss was like, "You can't work 4 days a week. You got to work 5 days a week." But I'm like, I'm doing my job. I'm servicing all the stores. Why can't I just do what you need me to? Like, it's one of those things when you work at a store and they say, "You got to look busy. You got to look busy." I always fucking hate that. I'm like, why? Why do I got to fake doing something that we don't need done? Like, it's such bullshit. So I was like, so then I was like, "Listen, get me another store to work on Fridays and I can make better commission." And they're like, "No, you got," and then I found out of all the sales reps, I traveled the furthest and my commission was the lowest. So I had like the worst stores. So I was low rung on the totem pole. My district manager was an asshole. And I was just like, fuck this place. And I left there and I went to go work for a toy company called Spin Master. And Spin Master was an awesome job. Took a big pay cut. And then I was selling toys. What I would do is you would go into the toy store. Like I would go to Target, Walmart, and Toys R Us. And I would display all the toys, make sure the end caps look good, make sure if something was on sale, you want to make sure it was on price because if they're on sale, they sell better. So that was my job. You go to Target, oh, can you make sure you got all those sale signs? It will increase sales. Or, if there was a new toy, if there was a toy department manager, Toys R Us, in the mornings, I would go to the Toys R Us and I would say, "This is our new toy. It's Bakugan." And Bakugan is this magnetic dragon thing that you fight, kind of like Pokemon. And I would explain it to them. And the reason why I would go explain it to the toy people is when they would have people come into the toy store, they would say, "Oh, I don't know what to get my kid. What should I get?" And the guy would go, "Oh, well, everybody's playing Bakugan. Or they're playing with the Tech Deck skateboards or the Air Hog helicopters." So that was my job. I would do product knowledge sessions, and I would increase sales of Spin Master product in in the East Coast. I got promoted. I was the regional manager of sales of the whole East Coast, Northeast of the United States. So I was in charge of sales reps from, I think it was Virginia all the way up to Maine. And I was traveling around the country doing my job. And it they with the promotion, it didn't come with a great pay raise, but my workload increased greatly, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the pay raise. I'm not a very good writer. I have a little dyslexia in me, I think. So sometimes when I write stuff, it doesn't come out like, whatever. I'm not a very good writer. It's just one of my flaws. And voice to text wasn't really a thing, and I would have to write a letter. And so because I got the promotion and I was doing a lot of work, I asked to be demoted. And then after I got demoted, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. And I just left that job. And I left that job. Oh, and also they were getting ready to do mass layoffs across the country. I heard that was like, because I was inside the league, so I knew they were going to lay people off. And because I wasn't high up in the rung, I thought, well, I just got myself laid off. So before getting laid off, what I'll do is I'll get a new job. And I went to Toys R Us, where they knew me as the sales rep who talked to everybody. So they were like, fuck yeah, we'll hire you. And I worked for Toys R Us for a little bit. And then I got into a really, really bad car accident where two of my disc in my neck, they all got fucked up. I have nerve damage. To this day, my left arm is numb. And I had to do a lot of physical therapy to get strength back in my arm. So I couldn't work at Toys R Us and carrying anything. And eventually, they just fired me. So I was working at Toys R Us, and I had to do the physical therapy. My back was in bad shape. I was working at a parking lot at the electric factory, and that was a pretty cool job. I just sat there and watched TV all day, and that's where I came up with the theory that if you sit in a room all day and watch nothing but negativity, you kind of go into a bad space. So I would stay in this box all day, and I would watch Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, Steve Wilkos. And it kind of like became my highlight of my day, was watching this garbage TV shows and these bullshit injury lawyer commercials. And I was in a lawsuit because of my car accident. So like I had to work to make money, but my doctor's like, you can't really carry anything over 5 pounds. And I didn't want to be a cashier, and I was like, fuck, man. So I just did the parking lot thing for a while. Lawsuit settles. And Cheryl moves. My marriage falls apart. Cheryl and I have a mental breakdown. I lose my mind. I go for about a year. I'm working at the parking lot. And that ends, and I get a job at where the fuck did I work? Oh, Smart Stop Storage. So I worked at this storage place, and I worked for this company. I worked for them, and their thing was, we're going to open up a new thing. The pay was horrible, but I was so desperate. I had my work history because of me taking off a year and working in a parking lot. For some reason, I kind of did it to myself because I didn't believe in myself. But because my resume had like a gap of no time, I just thought everybody would assume that I was a loser and I wouldn't be able to. So I just took the first job that was offered to me. And it was at a self-storage place. And it was a pretty horrible job. I did that for about a year. And that's when the lawsuit settled. And I just quit my job. And I said, listen, I'm taking a few months. And I took a few months off. And then I got the job at Boyd's. And I quit Boyd's because they wanted me to do. That's it. We did the cycle. Those are all my jobs in the last 23 years. And now, you know, I host Quizzo. I do cameos. I do this and that. And I don't ever feel like I'm working. Sometimes after a baseball game, it's 11 o'clock. I'm a little tired. I don't feel like staying up and editing the videos, you know? But I do because it's my job. And if I put it off and say I'll get it next time, that's horseshit. Just do it and get it done with. Do your job. That's how I look at it. It's my job. Yeah, that's okay. Was I Tom Hanks in Big? You know, with the toy job, it was cool. On Saturdays, I would have to work once every 2 months and demonstrate how to work the toys. Like I would fly air hog helicopters in the Toys R Us's, and kids would try them. The thing is, the Toys R Us's had some type of radio frequency, and they never worked properly, so I never sold any Toys R Us's. No, my job is YouTube and Cameo and selling merch, and occasionally I'll talk about a brand like Collects or stuff like that. Uh-oh. You okay? What's that, babe?
You can't talk in front of me?
No, I'm checking that. I got a message.
There wasn't anything in the dryer?
So what am I doing now? I'm taking Rick for a walk. The people have voted for Mayfair. I'm going to do Mayfair, Lincoln High School, Pennypack Park. Maybe check out the Ed Kelly Amphitheater and walk back. I think that's a good walk for Rick the puppy.
The Cotman Corner where everybody celebrates?
Yeah, start there. I feel like I've done that 1,000 times, though. Probably not. No, I know. I overthink things. I try to do a year gap in between videos. Not Center City, Philadelphia.
No, but I mean, I don't know when last time you did Cotman Mayfair.
2 weeks ago. Remember I tried Jollibee and the Roosevelt Mall was getting...
Oh, yeah. To me, that's Roosevelt Mall area is different. It's not Mayfair to me. But
No, it's not. I know. It's the beginning of Northeast Philadelphia. Well, no, I don't think the Philly Tourism Board didn't fuck up by hiring me, because now I am a tour guide. I do it my own way, and I make my own money. Fuck them. Yeah, no, they didn't lose out, and
their loss is your game,
right?
Guys.
yeah. Now once every few months,
yeah, you do.
I do a tour.
You do a tour. You do a quizzo. All the things that someone said you cannot do.
Right.
You show them that yes, you can.
Right. I do it as a fuck you to them.
Yeah.
I do professional wrestling now. I think I got something coming up in September. I got to double check with Billy Avery.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, Billy Avery's a fucking pig. But he's in Japan, so he's on his honeymoon. Congratulations, Billy Avery.
You went to Japan?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I want to.
If I'm going to Japan, I need at least 3 weeks.
Well, I think he's there for a month.
Okay, because I'm not.
So I don't want to
for
text
3
him,
days.
because I know when you're texting people in other countries, it costs more money.
Really?
What kind of music am I into? I like.
Flo Rida?
I like pretty much Flo Rida is all I listen to. That's not a gimmick.
You are the lead singer in a punk band.
I like punk music, and I like the hip hop you can dance to. I also like oldies music. I like everything, man. I was into show tunes for a while. Bruce Springsteen, I'm into him. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Is that tomorrow? Maybe I'll do the Bruce video tomorrow. Oh, that might be a good idea. Well, I was a turkey and cheese sandwich, a little bit of mayonnaise, lettuce, pickle, and then I do this seasoning. I love this seasoning. It's called Tony's. It's like a Creole seasoning. So it gives everything like a little salt and pepper with a bit of heat. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I used to listen to this radio show called the Don and Mike Radio Show. And Don would always say, find what you like to do and you'll never work a day in your life. And I never really understood what he meant when he said. So I always thought, when I used to listen to Don and Mike, I was working for the toy company. And I was like, yeah, I guess I like this job. I make okay money, but I didn't like that job. It was a job. It wasn't something I felt passionate about. And with this stuff, I'm so passionate about everything. I try not to say I daily vlog. I never really put out a deadline to you guys, because whenever I hear other YouTubers say, like I watch Rachel Ballinger, and Rachel Ballinger says, "Oh, I'll put up a video every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays we do the podcast and this," and then the one day they don't do it, so then they got to spend the whole vlog going, "Listen, guys, I didn't upload," and by the way, that shit only matters for one day, and then the rest. So I never try to say I daily vlog, but I've been pretty much daily vlogging every day. I would dare say 5 years. And there's days I've missed. But I've definitely posted something every day for 5 years. My YouTube birthday is this month. And I've been YouTubing Philly Captain 6 years. The first 1,000 videos are shit. They're garbage. I have a piece of shit camera. I don't know how to edit. The videos are 2 minutes long. But each video was a learning experience. Before, a lot of the videos at the beginning of the channel started off as I would work at Boyd's, right? And if I would go on a delivery, I would check out a statue that I knew nothing about. I would take a picture of the statue, and then after work was over, and while I go back to Boyd's, I would Google the statue. I would find out the history of that statue, and then after work was over, I would text Cheryl, "Hey, pick me up 15 minutes later. I'm going to make a YouTube video about a statue." And that's how we did it. I would go, I'd make a video. It'd be horrible camera work, and it would get like 30 views. Once in a while, a video would get 100 views, and it would blow my mind. So I remember they would get 30. I dare you to watch some of those videos. The camera works horrible. I didn't have a stabilized camera. But after I got about 1,000 subscribers, my Patreon, I had a little bit of money saved up, and I bought the DJI Pocket Osmo, and I think that was like the game changer to the channel. That's what made everything. The camera work getting better made the channel better. But now here's the thing. So now those videos that were getting 30 views, they're now getting 200 views. So there's 170 people and some people rewatching stuff. And now I know how to edit. So what I did now is all that knowledge I gained on all those videos that nobody watched. When I do the scooter rides, I'll just spit out random facts. I pretty much can do a story on every block in Center City about a random history fact. So it's all working to something. And I love this city, and I love the history in this city, and there's every block. I used to have a thing where I would say every block has a story, and it's true. Every block does have a story in Philadelphia. Not everything has to do with George Washington, but it's a great city. It's a great city, and I really I love living here. Sometimes it's been good. Oh, you got the Mobile 3. Oh, I don't know what the Mobile 3 is. You want to? My Bob Kelly take is I'm not a people love Bob Kelly, and I'm not a fan of Bob Kelly because he talks like Rachel Ray. Like I've met the guy several times. He seems pleasant enough, but he sometimes he writes stuff on social media, and I'm like, dude, you're the fucking happy traffic guy. Why are you such a cranky, miserable fuck? But I'm not a big fan. Matter of fact, when I hosted Quizzo, there was a team that would show up, and they were called the Bob Kelly Fan Club. I'm not a big fan of him. You know, some of his persona might be phony. I don't know. Just comes off. He talks like Rachel Ray. That's the reason I don't like him. He talks like Rachel. I heard him call a sandwich a Sammy one time, and it drove me nuts. Holding phones, yeah. Oh, I don't know if Bob Kelly puts ketchup on his hot dog. I will ask him next time. Although he was just attacked down the shore. He was doing a DJ party, and somebody came up and punched him. And so I don't even think I would even bother him. Like, I don't even think, if I saw Bob Kelly walking down the street, I'm sure there has to be another level of stress walking down the street for Bob Kelly because he was just harassed. So I don't think I would ever bother Bob Kelly. Even if he was like in a parade, I would just like leave him alone just because I'm sure every time somebody comes up to him, he fucking shits himself. That's horrible. I feel really, it's the first time I've ever felt bad for Bob Kelly. Mike Jarrett and Jason Martinez, they came up to Section 301 the other day. They were really cool. Jason was real cool, and Mike was just kind of in the corner. I left Mike alone out of respect because my dad fucking loves Mike Jarrett, and so. The Ringing Rocks. Yeah, that was a good video. I was kind of, I was more into the waterfall at the Ringing Rocks than the actual Ringing Rocks. It's not real special. It's just rocks, Listen, if we can, let's get 200 likes. If we get 200 likes, I'll drop the Wildwood video. You want to see the Wildwood video? Hit that like button. 200 likes, and we're going to Wildwood in just a little bit. Steve Keeley's a weirdo. I don't want to. Steve Keeley used to dress in his car and the Fox 29 news vans used to get their vans filled up with gas at the Bridesburg gas station, the Citgo at Bridesburg. So I think Steve Keeley used to park his car at the 7-Eleven, and he would get changed in his car. He's a weirdo. Tom, if you have video of the Crystal Cave, may I suggest taking your video, lowering the audio of kids screaming, and maybe do a voiceover and say, "Hey, listen, there was kids screaming. I can't really play the audio from the cave because of that, but this is what I saw," and maybe repeat some of the facts that you don't waste your footage, Was watching Adam the other day, and he was talking how he's partial to the Angels, Rays, and Phillies. You need to have him come back and just. Well, he was here for opening day. Me and him have a deal. Matter of fact, we were talking earlier today for a bit. Me and him have a deal. In the American League, I root for the Tampa Bay Rays. That's my squad. Although there's something going on with their shortstop. Does anybody know what he said on social media? I can't find out. The shortstop for the Rays got pulled off the field because of something with social media. So here's Adam's thinking. So Adam lived out in California, right? That's what he was doing, and he moved to Florida. So he would go to Anaheim games all the time because he likes baseball. The guy fucking likes baseball. So when he would go to the Anaheim games, he would root for Anaheim. And then he would go to the Rays games, and he would vote for the Rays. But then he just moved out to Florida full time, so he said, you know what? I'm cutting off this. I can't root for two teams. I'm going all in on the Rays. Because, why root for Ohtani when you can root for Justin Wander? I don't know, but... So he's the guy traveling around the country seeing Rays games. And I told him, you're the only person doing that. You're the only person on YouTube traveling around watching the Rays. So if they have a fantastic season, it's going to work out well. Yeah, whatever. I mean, the first few videos, there's no editing whatsoever. Oh, wow. Let me tell Adam. Dating a 14-year-old. Shit. Damn, dude, that sucks. That guy Wander, he just signed. Now I don't know. I'm just going off what people were saying. Let me check the Google machine. Major League Baseball launched an investigation into Tampa Bay's shortstop Wander Franco, and the team placed him on a restricted list after social media posts questioned alleged nature of a relationship between Franco and a younger woman. Franco, 22, did not make the trip with the Rays, source says. The Tampa Bay Rounders have mutually agreed that he'd be on the restricted list to take the thing. The league inquiry conducted investigations, social media, where he grew up. He was having an alleged relationship with a girl in the Dominican Republic where he grew up. Franco did not play Sunday, which the Ray manager Kevin Cash said was a planned day off. In November of 2021, he signed an 11-year, $182 million contract. Man. Shit. Tampa can get out of his contract for contact. Yeah, but I'm not worried about the Tampa Bay Rays and their fucking money. I don't care about their money. I'm more upset that the like he was a good player. He got paid. They offered him $100 million 60 games into his contract in Major League Baseball. That's outrageous. So they signed him on the cheap anyway. Shit. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, if we're going to crucify this guy, then just know Pete Rose was accused of doing the same thing. So, and you know what? I'm pretty hard on Pete Rose, so I guess I got to be hard on this guy. I'm just trying to think, like, maybe it's a cultural thing. Like, you know, sometimes, like, alcohol in America is 21, but sometimes in other countries, like in Germany, I think it's 16. So, 14 is way too young for a 22-year-old, but maybe if it's a Dominican Republic, I don't know. Let me see. Like sometimes are we putting our standards on you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's a good standard to have, by the way. I think we're on the right. It's on the it's wrong. It's wrong. Jules is 16. If she was dating a 22-year, no, it's wrong, dude. You can't. Now I'm going to look like a creep because I Dominican. No, I don't want a Dominican women's dating site. I want to know the age. Oh no, it's 18, so it's not a cultural thing. This guy, but there is like in Ecuador, it's consensual. You could be a 14-year-old, but now in Dominican, so he's in the wrong. There's no cultural thing. Damn, dude, that sucks for you. $100 million down the drain. Fuck. There's no defending that. You can't defend that. I don't know what you do. What do you do? Do you keep them playing? Do you? Yeah. Oh, that's a very good point. That's the one thing. I'm a huge Elvis Presley fan, and when people talk to me about Elvis Presley and Priscilla, I kind of That's the moment where I go, fuck, man. I can't really. He's not the greatest of all time. I mean, he's great. He's great, but yeah, he did do. But Elvis did have Priscilla's parents' permission. Not that that's right. Is it right? I don't know. And Priscilla, to this day, she still speaks highly of Elvis, but she also Elvis money, you know? So I don't know. I guess we can all agree it's wrong. And what the punishment should be is something that it's not my job, so I don't need to worry about it. Right. So Wander had. I mean, this is what you're saying, Hooks. This is not. I don't know this to be true, but Hook says Wander had the mother's permission. That's the same case with Elvis's sake. I don't know, but I don't know if I want a 14-year-old man. They could still be children, but they could also. I don't know, man. That's crazy. It's tough. I don't see any confirmation of there being a minor. The article I read said a young lady. But if you're thinking about it, yeah, I guess we're just saying off stuff we're hearing on the internet. I'm sure $182 million helped with the permission. You know what? Think about that. You got a guy, he's making money. You don't have to worry about him being a loser. He's made more money for the lifetime of lifetimes. I would be concerned if I was the parent. I would be concerned with like what happens when the 14-year-old becomes a 17-year-old, and like maybe it's a thing he's into. Maybe the kid won't, like 14. You're not dating somebody at 14 planning on getting married. I hope not. You got to live. I don't think people should get married till you're in your 30s anyway. Yeah, that's the thing. What's the punishment? MLB, can you let them play? I watched the Johnny Manziel thing on Netflix last night, and it was a pretty interesting. It was probably the worst Netflix sports documentary I've seen, but it was still good. He just I don't know, man. He didn't seem like he was all that great. He just ran the ball a few times, and he had a few good games. He only played for 2 years in college. It was a weird thing. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. We're just talking sports. I think it's Dougal Herrera, who played for the Phillies, he has some domestic abuse allegations, or I think they were actually confirmed. I'm not 100%. And they let him play. And so are we saying one crime's okay and the other crime isn't? And I guess being, in a relationship with a child, I guess it's all, ooh. 2.5 weeks, I think, March. Yeah, 2 Heismans. And he didn't even try. Like, he wasn't even working out. He was just partying, Manziel. By the way, if we can get to 300 likes, I will drop my Wildwood video. Me and Brett rode our bike on Wildwood. I think I actually might drop it. We got so many people watching, hitting the like button. Nah, I don't pay attention to that stuff. I never even knew who Johnny Manziel. Like, I don't pay attention to college football whatsoever. Like, I know his name. I heard Johnny Football. I knew Cleveland drafted him. By the way, how dumb is Cleveland for draft? Cleveland's a shit organization. Well, fuck it. We'll do it for 300. Why not? Yeah, the Browns, apparently they drafted him after a workout he did where he threw the ball to his agent and a few other people. And pretty much the way he got, so he was supposed to go in the second round, and he did all these interviews, and he was just so personable at the interviews that he got up to the top 10. But yeah, Cleveland's a garbage organization. I don't think he even did that. If he was in the pros for 2 seasons. You know who's funny, who I follow on Instagram? Matt Weiner. If you want to follow somebody who's very funny, Matt Weiner he's always degrading himself because, like, he goes, all right, I'm getting ready to make that big money at the autograph show. And he goes and he'll have like 30 people in line. He's really, really funny. I don't think I'm going to be going to London. No. Hey, stop writing the fightings. We got it. Gnomestead, how you doing? Gnomestead, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's going well with you. I saw that the Camping with Steve thing. I saw that on Instagram I think it was like a week ago. It's been a blur the past few weeks because of the Flo Rida no-hitter baseball extravaganza. My favorite non-Philly mascot, I would say... None of them. I don't like any of them. None of them stick out. None of them. There's never been a man. Oh, DJ Kitty. He would fuck around with us. I like DJ Kitty. Raymond. Last month I went to Tampa to watch the Phillies take on the Rays, and I got to hang out with my buddy Adam. And I keep missing the fly. And we went to the game, and I got the chance to talk to Raymond, the mascot. And I went up to him and I said, Raymond, everyone on the internet's wondering, what are you? You got legs, you got feet, you got hair. What are you? And he just stood there for like 30 seconds, like he didn't know what to say or do. And finally his handler said, oh, he's a Ray from Tampa Bay. And I was like, he's covered with hair. And she's like, yeah. I go, let's go. And I walked away. Turns out was it Calvin the Turtle? Or I think it's Calvin the Turtle. So Calvin the Turtle is also the Wawa Goose. So if you ever go to a Wawa Goose, if you ever see the Wawa Goose in Philadelphia, I would say there's a good chance that it's Calvin the Turtle. But Calvin also isn't just the Wawa Goose. He's like the leader of the Wawa Goose. So he has to hire other mascots to go around doing the Wawa Goose thing. And Raymond does the Wawa Goose down in Tampa Bay because they're down in Florida. So my buddy texted Raymond and he was like, yo, the Philly captain, and Raymond knew who it was yelling at you, and he wanted to know, why did you freeze? And he goes, I've been doing, and the mascot said something along the lines, I've been doing this mascotting thing for 6 years, and not one time has anyone ever asked me what I was. And I didn't know how to answer. The guy just fucking... So I shook a mascot. I don't collect baseball cards, but anymore. I don't collect baseball cards anymore. But I do collect... here is some of my old baseball card collection. There's a Armand Gillian. Uh-oh. Yeah, I had this little case of cards. I've had this in my attic for, I don't know. And these are the cards I collected as a kid in the 90s. I made a little video for Collects a few months ago. That's how I started my partnership with them. The guy who runs their social media is this guy named Dave. And he used to work with Crossing Broad. He's a really nice guy. He also is associated with the Mummers. Real nice guy. Really, really, really nice guy. And so earlier this season, he was like, hey, we were thinking about maybe doing a partnership. What would you think we would do? And so I gave him a price and I told him what would happen. And we've been talking so long that the price I gave him is no longer my price. My price is way higher. But since he's a nice guy, I was like, fuck it. I'll give you the deal anyway. And the way I got him interested in me is one day I was sitting upstairs. I was like, I'm just going to make a commercial using the Collects app. And I scanned some of the cards. Now, apparently, the scan feature could be off on some cards. But some cards, like the newer cards. So, they didn't want to feature that commercial. But like this card here is British Bulldog card. I think this was worth like $27. But what they want people to highlight is the fact that you can buy and sell your cards, and it's like a good place to sell it. Oh, look at this. I took my picture with this guy last week. Oh, my fingernails are filthy. Luis Aguayo. Shit, I think I met him this week too. So, but yeah, if you're into cards, it makes so much sense to use the Collects app. So, put this here. I have been to Maine. I never made a video in Maine, but I spent a week helping my buddy. He was a lineman, and I helped him restore power to Maine. They needed somebody to be the traffic, somebody to control the traffic, and the guy who was supposed to wave the flag didn't make it. So I showed up and I waved the flag for 16 hours, and it was the most money I ever made in my life. I think I made about $2,000 because it was hurricane work, and we were working 16 hours a day. Yeah, it was the most money I ever made, and I went home, and I went home early because I was doing a child custody lawsuit, which was so fucking stupid. I could have been up there for 5 days making more money, but I had to come home and make a child, which got canceled, which was so fucking mad about that. I could have made enough money to fix everything that was wrong with my life, and I had to stop halfway. Yeah, I usually announce it. Listen, don't come out to Philadelphia. I announce it. There's a bar. It's called the Green Rock Tavern. I do it whenever I feel like it. I don't like doing it too much. Last time I did it with Todd. And I had fun doing it with Todd. So if I ever do it again, I would probably do it with Todd just for fun. But yeah, when I started doing Quizzo, I really loved doing it. And then the bar I was doing it before, the Green Rock Tavern, they were getting real crazy with the attendance. And they're like, oh, we need 15 people. We'll pay you this rate. And I'm like, yo. And then one week there was 14 people and they were going to short me. And I was like, yo. And then I figured out the count was wrong anyway. And I was like, you got to fucking pay me. It was bullshit. So every week we would get 15 to 17 people show up. And then they were like, listen, we're just going to move on. We're going to move on. We're going to do Quizzo a different way. So now they do Quizzo a different way. And I hear it's not as fun. That's all I heard. So, I don't know about going to the College World Series. I will. I don't know if it's 100% set in stone. Stone. But I will be going to. I think I will be going to a Penn State game, which is pretty exciting. It might be the first game of the season, but I have a friend who's a huge Penn State fan, and I told him like what my YouTube channel, like we were talking about, like what do you want to do with your YouTube channel, and I was like, I don't want to be just a sports vlogger. I don't want to just be a guy who goes to sports, because I also like American history and I also like reporting on the news, but I do want to experience everything sports that I can. Like I want to go to the Daytona 500. I want to go to a Penn State game. And then when I said that, he says, you just want to go to a Penn State game? And I said, yeah, I heard that the Penn State games are like the ultimate experience. You got to experience that. And he's like, dude, I'm going to, like, that was the second thing of all the things in sports. Not go to, like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Not a Super Bowl. Fuck a Super Bowl. Because I've been to a World Series, and I know what a World Series is. It's commercial bullshit. It's just more TV people, you know. But um, but so anyway, he said, well, we're gonna get you to a Penn State game, so it might be Penn State, West Virginia. I'm gonna go, and he's like, dude, it's like a 2-day thing. We gotta drive. We'll camp at my mom and dad's house. We'll go to the tailgate, and I was like, all right, yeah, cool. So yeah, I want to experience. I went to a NASCAR race earlier this year. I used to be really into NASCAR. After Jimmy Johnson stopped winning the cups, I kind of got out of it. Like I still follow it, but not as hard as I used to. And I went to Dover this year, and that video got a lot of views. And I was like, I really like going to NASCAR. I really enjoy going to sporting events, and I think I might be doing what I do for the Phillies. I might be doing for Flyers games. I do it now for Wings games, which is a Philadelphia indoor lacrosse. But I think I might be doing that for the Flyers this year. And if that's the case, it's going to be I know the Flyers aren't you know, they're a bad team right now. But this is, I believe, we're at the beginning stages of a rebuild, and why not be part of the story from the ground up? So if I can be if I can go to Flyers games in the winter, and cover the Flyers, and do the Wings, and I think it's going to be a pretty good winter here. I would like to maybe check out some every Eagles tailgate. I might do some away games. I might do some appearances. So like it's going to be. I know I lean heavy on sports, but I also do other things. But there's going to be a lot of cool things coming up, and I'm really interested to see what the Flyers, because the Flyers, like the last month, they sent me requests to cover 2 things. That the one was a hockey event they had at the Wells Fargo Center this weekend. And I wish I fucking did that, but I got to meet John Middleton that day. Well, not meet, talk to John Middleton. So I guess it worked out better for me going to the Phillies game, although it did fuck me in other ways, which I'll talk about another time. But naked, yeah, I do hockey. I did about 20 games last year, but I should do more. The basketball, I went to about 10 games, but I don't really think basketball is really a vloggable sport. It's not, like baseball, there's a lot of stuff going on. If you notice, the baseball videos, it's everything going on in the ballpark, and then the game is just like, it moves the story along. You know, this is where we're at in the game. This is what's going on at the ballpark. I don't think it's more, like I could make a Phillies vlog and not mention the game once, and I don't think people would even notice. Matter of fact, I will do that. I will do that in September. I'll make a Phillies vlog and not mention the score, or a home run or anything. I'm just going to do shit at the. Oh, that might be fun. Yeah, the naked bike ride. I usually do the naked bike ride. I might not do it this year. My channel. I don't want to get a strike, and sometimes I don't make any money on the naked bike ride video. And it's actually a lot of work. So I might cover it. I don't know. It depends. I probably will. And I'm not a creep. It's not like, you know what's funny? When you go to the naked bike ride, you know, you sticks out more than the boobs or the cocks. There's so many cocks. It's like 75% cock. I'm not really a fan of cock. And then the bush, you know, they got bushes. It's a bunch of hippie chicks. You know how it goes. Yeah, there's a naked bike ride. You can look up on my YouTube channel. Just type in Naked Bike Ride 2023. There's a 17-mile bike ride where people just ride butt-ass naked throughout the city. She can come up to Section 301 and say hi. We'll probably boo her. I will be at every weekday game. I don't think I'm going to weekend games anymore, but I will be at every weekday game. Oh, my next game would be the Angels. Yeah, the NASCAR video was good because that's what I did. I tailgated, walked around. They have a lot of pre-ceremonies. It was cool. No, the naked bike ride's naked as shit. Right. I don't know. No, they all had seats. A lot of people don't cover the seats, so it's a thing. No, I haven't been to Fenway. I'll probably go there next year, unfortunately. I hate Red Sox fans. Listen, can we get some more likes? Let's see if we can get to 225 likes by the end of this stream. And, no fucking way. I'm very proud of this. I've camped out with Brett, Todd, Oscar, Waldo. And I am proud to say I am the only member in the Fandemic crew that I've seen Todd in his underwear, Brett in his underwear, Oscar in his underwear. I think I saw Waldo in his underwear. And I was like, guys, I don't want to see anybody in their underwear. I just don't want to look at guys in their underwear. Not crazy, silly me, you know? There's a bathroom right there. Just put on, like when I stay at a hotel with somebody, I wear basketball shorts, you know? Well, I would watch my channel too. It's real fans being real people, not like Red Sox fans. Yeah. We're one like away from 225 likes. I think this is good enough. We did a good time. Listen, if you want access to all my live streams, all you got to do is click that join button. I also have many other ways to help out my channel. I have a Patreon. I do cameos. I do t-shirts. But if you want access to these people like these live streams. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. My buddy Deckhand Dan, he told me it's like watching a crazy guy lose his mind in his basement. What's Zack Hample drama? New Zack Hample drama? Wait a second. Don't leave yet, folks. It might get good. Nope. I'm going to tell you. Matter of fact, that's just who I was texting. I don't go travel. I don't stay at hotels. But Adam and I stayed at a hotel room together, and I would say we were the best roommates you could be. We would go in the bathroom, put on a t-shirt and shorts. I sleep in a tank top and nope. I never saw Adam Wu in his underwear. Oh, last year. Yeah, I saw it. Okay, shit. You almost got me crazy. I tried to stop talking about Zack Hample. And then every so often he does something that I got to keep talking about him. I guess I'm forever connected with him. That sucks. But yeah, I saw that Coors Field thing last year. Matter of fact, he got banned from a few stadiums last year because of that. Thank you. I appreciate it. There was no sword fights. How are you guys connected? Yo, let's go. Yo, listen. I love you guys. The drum line or the brass drum line? The bass drum line. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love you guys. If you see me filming you, please say hi. I always feel awkward filming you guys because I get real close with the bass drum. I love you guys. How many times have I seen Zack Hample? I went to 3 games and I saw him the entire series. Whenever he comes to Citizens Bank Park, my inbox blows up. People tell me to come get him like I'm some type of movie monster. But no, I haven't seen him since last time I saw him. I said, "All right, Zach, you come back to the ballpark anytime. You may be a weirdo, but they always win whenever you're here." Something like that. I'm not going to. I might be outside for Bruce. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ryan. What's the controversy with this guy? Zack Hample was known. He goes around and he catches baseballs, which is cool. They go around the stadium catching baseballs. The guy has, I think, about 13,000 baseballs. Sometimes when he goes to catch a ball, it's very aggressive. He caught a ball, I forget where. His last home run ball he got, he definitely shouldn't have been where he was, where he caught the ball. He knocked people over. You can see a woman look at him like, what the fuck? He gets kind of aggressive going for the balls. And the thing is, he has 13,000, so he shouldn't be so aggressive. That's my take. I also think every time he catches a ball, he robs that experience of somebody else catching that ball. I don't know if you ever caught a ball, but if you go to a game and you catch a ball yourself, it's so much cooler than having somebody give you a ball. I try not to... When I go to batting practice, I never try to catch a ball. Sometimes I'll get one thrown up to me. I always give it to a kid. But yeah, I try not to. I remember me and Adam went to a game in Washington, D.C., and there was a foul ball coming, and Adam had his hand up, and so did I, and I put my hand down so he could catch the ball. Why was I yelling at the guy at the Pittsburgh Stadium after the game? He yelled a homophobic slur at me and Todd multiple times. And I don't like people using that word. And after his, we were walking down the steps, he called Todd multiple times. He called us the F slur for homosexuals. And then he said Captain F slur. And if you watch the video, it's definitely part of the video. Or I might have cut it out because I didn't want to get demonetized using that term. So after his 5th time or whatever time it was him saying that term, I was like, he's not going to say shit if I say something to him. So I went up to him and I said, "Yo, you think I'm a homosexual slur?" And I said, "Why don't you do something to me then, huh?" And that's why I was yelling at him. When he first said it to me and Todd, I did not think anything of it because I thought he looked young. When I turned around, I noticed him and all his boys were drinking beers. So I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's 21. He's a man talking like this. So I just wanted to see what he would do if he thought so highly of me to say that to me. I wanted him to say it to my face, which he didn't. And then I challenged him and all his friends to a little thumb wrestling match. Nobody said anything. I think the kid's mom had to come and break the whole thing up. But it is what it is. A lot of people throw that term around, and you figure if you think so lowly of people that you're going to say that, you would fight them if they challenge you. I don't know. No, I definitely didn't cut it. I don't think I cut it. I think I cut the first. There's definitely one in the video. His punk band was 10-yard fight. I wasn't really into 10-yard fight. There's going to be more beer at the ballpark. Yeah, the first part, like, it was just, you can't use certain words on the internet. That's how bad of a word that is. You can't use it on the internet or they'll demonetize your video. And when you pay hundreds of dollars to travel somewhere, you wanna make a little bit money on your YouTube video. I like Camden Yards, except for when they destroy our national anthem. Not really. No real stories of the old vet. Maybe one day I can do a vlog about the old vet, but it's just it was a lot of just drunk stuff. I would always sit in the 700 level. I never got good seats. I always sat up high. I used to buy tickets for $4. Jim Thome came tickets were $7. Now the cheapest ticket to a game some days is $30, which I think is a lot. So, all right, I'm going to end this. My favorite Phillies team of all time is probably like the 05 Phillies, the Bobby Abreu, Jim Thome, Mike Lieberthal. I really loved that team. I watched every one of their games. They missed the playoffs by like 2 games. I think it was that team. The first team at Citizens Bank Park, that Mike Lieberthal, Jim Thome. I love that team. I love Jim Thome. He made me love baseball again. I would go to a few games a year, but then when we got Jim Thome back, it was kind of a sign like, okay, we're going to be trying to be good now. And that brought me back into the team. And I love Jim Thome, and I love that squad. And I like last year's team more than I like, although I don't think I know as the characters. I like the way the team gels. I would probably want to hang out with the 93 Phillies more, but although a lot of them are assholes. But I think this year's team's pretty cool. But a lot of these guys are big time Jesus nuts. And so I don't think me and them would mesh, personally because of religious reasons. But they're all right. They seem like they're cool guys. But yeah, they got their head on straight. They party, but they're also responsible. This team. I was not part of the Wolfpack. Yeah, I don't always have a jersey on. Most people, I get recognized without a jersey. Well, I'm sorry. I appreciate you loving me, Zach. Unfortunately, I hate you and your fan base. Not you personally, just I hate Red Sox fans. Oh, okay. All right, it's enough. I'm going to hang up, and I'll do the Wildwood video. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Toodles.